4, 3, 2, 1.
We are back once again, this time heading over to Series Green, where we have the same number of trucks competing in one tournament bracket to determine the first round standings of qualifying. Right here, we can see some familiar faces here, as well as some new trucks with some new designs like Sparkle Smash featuring the new logo design with a new chassis and roll cage. We have Overkill Evolution here looking pretty nice, along with a new Sonuva Digger. There you can see the Mercury Mutt Rottweiler. That one's going to be fun to see. And also here we have the Overcharged Max D looking really nice and shiny here. Hopefully we'll see some action between that truck, hopefully sometime. Also on there you could see Northern Nightmare and the Iron Outlaw truck right there, standing right in front of Max D. There's the Harley Quinn monster truck facing the Faster van, and you can see Banners Travelers Fast, Gas Monkey Garage, and Ice Cream Man. But we are going to be taking a look at the Series Green standings as well as our competitors for this season. In Series Green, starting with Banners Travelers Fast being driven by Aiden Garcia, Faster Van being driven by James Wilson. Then we have Gas Monkey Garage being driven by Liam Cunningham. Then we have Harley Quinn driven by Christine Lauritsen. Then we have Ice Cream Man driven by James Harper. Iron Outlaw driven by Isaac Andrews. Jurassic Attack being driven by Dalton Widener. Max D driven by Isaac Holland. We have Mutt Rottweiler being driven by Caden Wilson. We have Northern Nightmare being driven by Abigail McQueen. Over here we are seeing some pretty cool drivers here, as well as some sibling rivalries going on here, like Caden Wilson and James Wilson. Caden driving the Mutt Rottweiler and his younger brother James Wilson driving Faster Van, becoming a new rookie here on this series. And we look at the other series standings here. This is the other half. We have Overkill Evolution being driven by Hunter Nero Theory. We have Slinger being driven by John Hartsock. Then we have Sonuva Digger being driven by Ryan Anderson. Sparkle Smash being driven by Jamie Sullivan. We have Superman being driven by Jake Hopkins. The Slicer being driven by Alvaro Falco. We have Wildflower driven by Atsumi Kocho. We have Wonder Woman driven by Anna Blank. Recreation driven by Preston McCoy. And the Zombie Biker being driven by Nicholas Burns. We are seeing some, real life Monster Jam drivers like Ryan Anderson and Jamie Sullivan. And we are seeing some other newcomers like Hunter Nero Theory. And we're also seeing Itsumi Kocho. And then we're seeing Anna Blank on there as well. And we have Hunter on the side as well. Now let's look at the series bracket, or the round one bracket for this for tonight. As you can see here, we have for round one Slinger, Jurassic Attack, Recreation, the Slicer, Overkill Evolution, Gas Monkey Garage, Max D, and Iron Outlaw. I almost said Overkill, but yeah, Iron Outlaw will be facing Max D from the bracket as well. We are seeing the rest of the trucks here. Those eight trucks from round one, only 4 can advance to the second round, where things begin for the Series Green bracket. Lots of cool matchups here, including one that I'm really excited to see: Wildflower versus the Zombie Biker. That one's gonna be fun to see, along with the Northern Nightmare and Harley Quinn monster truck facing each other. Can't wait to see what Northern Nightmare does in that new chassis. And we're seeing Banner Charles Fast with Fastrovan and Ice Cream Man versus Sparkle Smash. That one will be pretty nice to see. And Wonder Woman, Mutt Rottweiler, Superman, and Sonuva Digger are awaiting their opponents from round 1. Only 4 of these trucks from round 1 will advance to the next round, where the missing spots will await their opponents in this new bracket. And starting with for the first race, we have Slinger versus Jurassic Attack. John and Dalton are being prepared for the pole position start of race 1 of round 1. And here we go. Down the track they go as these two trucks race down. Slinger with some big air, but Jurassic Attack falls down. And it looks like Slinger will move on, but let's see that again. So, we can see here that Slinger and Jurassic Attack having the lead. Slinger with some air, but Jurassic Attack falls and lands on the side. That's going to be wild. Next up, it's Recreation versus the Slicer, which these two, in my opinion, is going to be a good one. 2 hefty trucks going down the track, as we can see Recreation getting some air, but the Slicer, though, hits the wall just like Jurassic Attack. We're going to have to look again. The Slicer going a little too fast, causing them to knock themselves from the side wall, giving Recreation the easy win there. Then for race 3, we have Overkill Evolution facing Gas Monkey Garage of round 1. And here they go down the track. Overkill Evolution down the track. Gas Monkey Garage a little ahead. And it's going to be a tight race, but Gas Monkey Garage ends up winning it. And there goes Overkill Evolution. Let's see that again. You can see here as these two trucks go down neck and neck, but it looks like Gas Monkey Garage had the lead there, using the sidewall as an advantage, taking the win from Overkill Evolution. And then last race of round 1 is Max D versus Iron Outlaw. This will be a fun one to see, as these two trucks have never raced each other until now. But here we go. Max D already having the lead there. Not Overkill, but Iron Outlaw lands outside of the wall and Max D stops. Here's a look again at the replay. You could see Max D having the lead there, but Iron Outlaw went a little too far and they land outside. And with that, that's going to be marking the very first 4 competing into the next round. Max D, Gas Monkey Garage, Slinger, and of course Recreation. Those wild races there are pretty interesting. And now we have our confirmed matchups for the second round. Those spots have been filled, which means Slinger will face off Wonder Woman. Gas Monkey Garage will face off Superman. Recreation will face off Mutt Rottweiler. And Max D will face off Sonuva Digger. This will be a tight one for the audience out there. And those previous matches that I mentioned right before round 1, those remain the same. I just had to announce the ones with missing competitors or missing spots for round 2. And with that being said, let's move on to the second round, where we'll have Wildflower facing off Zombie Biker. We're starting things off with race 1 of round 2. And last round, we've seen some crashes between the Slicer and Iron Outlaw and a bunch of others. Well, let's see if we can see some more in this round. Here they go down to the track, as we can see Zombie Biker in the lead. Wildflower getting some air. They nudge into the wall, and Zombie Biker squeezes past them to get the win. Let's see that again, because I didn't expect that to happen. So as you can see, Wildflower having the lead there, but then you could see Zombie Biker. Wildflower got some air, got stuck into the wall, and Zombie Biker just drove past Wildflower, giving them the win there. And for the next race, we have Slinger versus Wonder Woman. The trend goes on as John Hartsock continues to dominate the track. They'll be facing off Anna Blank in Wonder Woman. Here we go down to the track. Anna Blank having some issues, hits the wall, crashes, and just like Zombie Biker, Slinger manages to get past them. Let's see that again. As I said, Anna Blank making her first appearance on New Generation. You can see John Hartsock, who is a Super Cup runner-up, but you can see they go past Wonder Woman. It was a terrible crash right there. And then we have Caden Wilson and Mutt Rottweiler facing off Preston McCoy in Recreation. These two individuals are ready and lined up onto the track. And here they go. Caden Wilson already in the lead so far. Preston McCoy getting some air, but has some trouble landing. and Caden Wilson will take the win in Mutt Rottweiler. Let's see that again from the replay. You could see the two neck and neck, both of them getting some air, but Recreation not landing right on the crush cars, causing them to lose. And then we have Ice Cream Man facing off Sparkle Smash, driven by Jamie Sullivan. And some of the racers here, or drivers, has been changed to real drivers. You can see them down to the track. Ice Cream Man pulling up a popper, or a pop. I don't know what happened, but we're gonna have to go again. Can't pronounce what that move was called because I didn't expect it, but here they go. Ice Cream Man getting air, but lands horribly on the crush cars. There goes Sparkle Smash. Here it is again. Oof. He popped mid-air like popcorn, but unfortunately didn't land it. This next race is between Bad News Travels Fast and Fastrovan, with Fastrovan being driven by James Wilson, the younger brother of Caden Wilson, also making his appearance on the track here, facing off a very tough opponent, Bad News Travels Fast. And with that, here they go down to the track. James Wilson in the lead, getting some huge air, and it seems like they crash. And Bad News Travels Fast will advance. But let's look at that big air, because I didn't expect it. Here we go, once again. Like I said, James Wilson is a new driver here competing for Series Green. And look at that air. I didn't expect him to go that high on his first debut. But unfortunately, he won't move on, as Bad News Travels Fast will steal the win. And for the next race, we have Gas Monkey Garage facing Superman. These two are ready to go. Liam Cunningham in Series Green. Meanwhile, his twin brother, Zachary, is in Series Red. And here they go for the track once again. Liam hits the wall, and they crash outside, and Superman gets shut off. Regardless, they still advance. But what happened to Liam Cunningham in Gas Monkey Garage? We're going to have to look at it again. Seems like they had the lead, but you could see the truck turn on its left side, causing them to crash outside of the track. Next up, we have Sonuva Digger against Max D. It's Ryan Anderson versus Isaac Holland. This is going to be a tough one to predict here. You can see them going down to the track. Isaac Holland having the lead there, but Ryan Anderson cuts him short, and it seems like he will advance to the next round. What on earth happened? We're going to look at this again. So you can see Isaac Holland having the lead, but Ryan Anderson manages to catch up and cuts him short, stealing the win from him. This was pretty intense by the looks of it. Never expected Ryan Anderson to do that. And for the final race of round 2, we have Northern Nightmare facing Harley Quinn. It is Abigail McQueen in the Northern Nightmare facing off the other driver, Harley Quinn, who I can't remember the name. But here we go down to the track. Harley Quinn in Northern Nightmare. And Harley Quinn is riding on the rail, on the wall, and falls over. Northern Nightmare wins, but let's look at that again. I didn't expect something to look this impressive, but look, as you can see, Harley Quinn rides on the sidewall, topples over, with Northern Nightmare winning the race regardless. After the final 4 races have become chaotic and somewhat of a freestyle round, the 16 trucks from round 2 have now completely turned into 8 left, and those are the trucks that you are seeing on screen that are still in game to win round 1, with Nicholas Burns and Zombie Biker facing off against John Hartsock and Slinger. Then on the other side, we have Aiden Garcia in Bad News Travels Fast will be facing off against Jake Hopkins in Superman. Then we have, on the bottom left side, we have Caden Wilson and Mutt Rottweiler facing off against Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. And last but certainly not least, we have Ryan Anderson and Sonuva Digger facing off Abigail McQueen in Northern Nightmare. Make sure you all sit tight and relax, as this will be one heck of a quarterfinal round, starting with Nicholas Burns and the Zombie Biker facing off against John Hartsock in Slinger. Nicholas and John are already at the starting line. Lots of wild racing back in the round of 16. Hopefully we can see some chaotic racing here in the quarterfinal match, as these two are ready to go down the track. Nicholas is in the lead. John tries to jump over, and it seems like they get cut short. Nicholas already swerving a little bit, but regardless, they managed to cross the finish line. Let's see this again. As the two racers head down to the track, Let's take a look here. You could see that Nicholas was already in the lead, but John neck and neck with him, both getting some air. He swerves a little bit, but regardless, Nicholas crosses while John is out of the competition. For the second race of the quarterfinals, we have Caden Wilson in Mutt Rottweiler facing off against Jamie Sullivan in Sparkle Smash. These two are going head-to-head. A failed driver facing off against a new driver here, competing in this series. And as the two race down to the track, Caden Wilson looks like he's having the lead there. He gets some air, and it seems like Jamie Sullivan has been knocked out. And Caden will move on to the next round. Let's see this again. As these two racers head down to the track, I think what we saw was that Jamie Sullivan hit the wall, I think, and then crashed. Here are the drivers again. Caden gets some air, and it seems like, yes, Jamie tried to ride on the wall, but crashes, giving Caden Wilson the victory. Up next for the third quarterfinal match, it is Aiden Garcia in Bad News Girls Fast, who will face off against Jake Hopkins in Superman. So far, Aiden and Jake have been underdogs in this round so far, but let's see how these two can handle facing up against each other as these two roll down to the track, and it seems like Aiden has the lead, but he goes off to the wall, and it seems like Jake has hit the wall. Let's see that again. I'm not sure what happened to Aiden, who fell off the track in this one, but it seems like he was trying to maneuver Jake, who almost had the lead. You could see Aiden falling off the track. Jake himself hit the wall. For the final race of the quarterfinals, we have Ryan Anderson and Sonuva Digger facing off against Abigail McQueen in Northern Nightmare. These two are going head-to-head to end things off for the quarterfinal round. And here they go down to the track, and it seems like Abigail has the lead. She nudges over, she almost crashes, but she saves herself. And Ryan slowly pushes her into the finish line. It seems like Ryan was trying to help her. Let's see this again. So you can see that as these two trucks head down to the track, wait for the cue moment, there we go. They both are neck and neck with each other. Abigail almost crashes but lands on the side of Sonuva Digger, but they slowly cross the finish line. And it looked like Abigail had the lead there, which means that Abigail will shock Series Green and upset Ryan Anderson and Sonuva Digger. Here's a look at the tournament bracket, and here is our final four. These matches are about to get heated up as we are down to 4 trucks in round 1 of qualifying. We have Nicholas Burns, we have Jake Hopkins, Caden Wilson, and Abigail McQueen all together for the semifinal match of round 1 of qualifying. And we're gonna zoom in now just to show you guys who is facing who. We're gonna start things off with Nicholas Burns and the Biker Zombie, who will go against Caden Wilson and Mutt Rottweiler. And then next we have Jake Hopkins and Superman facing Abigail McQueen in Northern Nightmare. First off, it is Zombie Biker facing off Mutt Rottweiler. Both Nicholas and Caden have been doing pretty well in this first round, but only one of them will advance to the final round, where the other match will await their opponent in this one. And here they go down to the track. You can see Nicholas already in the lead. Caden hits the wall and nearly misses the chance. And it looks like Nicholas will advance. Let's see this again. So you can see here, as the trucks head down to the track, Nicholas and Caden are neck and neck. Caden hits the sidewall, almost hits Nicholas, breaking his chances, but regardless, he advances to the final. Now, who will join Nicholas Burns? Will it be Abigail McQueen, or will it be Jake Hopkins? Let's see which one of these trucks will advance. Both of them are also doing pretty well, but only one of them will advance on to the final round, where they will face Nicholas Burns. Here we go down to the track, you can see, and it looks like Jake Hopkins hits the wall and crashes and lands upside down, giving Abigail the chance to win. Let's see this again. As I was saying before, one of these trucks will advance to the final round, where they will face the Biker Zombie. You can see that Abigail had the lead there, but Jake hits the crush cars and lands upside down, almost does a front flip, but Abigail advances, which means the final round has been determined, and it has been determined that the Biker Zombie will face off against Northern Nightmare in the final. It is none other than Nicholas Burns and the Biker Zombie facing off against Abigail McQueen in Northern Nightmare. The two trucks are ready, and here they are looking at each other for the final race of round 1 qualifying in Series Green. Here's the Biker Zombie looking pretty fresh out there. Honestly, pretty fast too. And then we have the Northern Nightmare truck looking really nice in a custom roll cage here, looking really good. Only one of these will win round 1 of Series Green. And for these two, they have been doing pretty well for the past matches that they've ever done in their previous rounds, facing off different opponents. But only one of these will win round 1. And here they go down to the track. Nicholas Burns has the lead. Abigail tries to catch up. Abigail hits the side, and it looks like she crashes, and it looks like Nicholas Burns will win round 1. We're going to go through the replay here. You could see Nicholas already having the lead. Abigail's struggling. She tries to maneuver, but she rolls over, and it looks like Nicholas Burns escapes, which means our round 1 winner will be Nicholas Burns in these Biker Zombie truck. And there it is. There he is right there. The truck parked on the lane where they previously struggled, and they're on the opposite side here. The Biker Zombie's arms out, and you could see the truck in full glory defeating Northern Nightmare in the final. Now let's take a look at our series standings so far for round 1. Here's a good look at the point standings. As you can see, after we saw the victory between Nicholas Burns and Zombie Biker, they are now positioned in first place with 15 points. Runner-up behind them is Abigail McQueen in Northern Nightmare with 12 points. Then we have Caden Wilson and Jake Hopkins, both in the Mutt Rottweiler and Superman trucks, both have 10 points. Then we have Aiden Garcia, John Hartzog, Ryan Anderson, Jamie Sullivan, all with 7 points from 5th to 8th place. Then we have drivers such as James Wilson and Liam Cunningham from Fastrovan and Gas Monkey Garage with 5 points. However, there is not another group, but there is a second part to the standings, and you will see a lot more trucks and drivers with 5 points, and also those from the bottom 4, which is known as the relegation zone. We're going to go through that right now. Here's the other series standings points from 11th place to 20th place. The trucks and drivers with 5 points are Christine Lauritsen in Harley Quinn, James Harper in Ice Cream Man, Isaac Holland and Max D, and Sumi Kocho in Wildflower, Anna Blank in Wonder Woman, and Preston McCoy in Recreation. Those trucks and drivers from 16th to 11th and from 10th place to 9th place, all sharing 5 points. And here are the drivers which are in the relegation zone so far in round 1. And those are Isaac Andrews in Iron Outlaw, Dalton Widener in Jurassic Attack, Hunter Nero Theory in Overkill Evolution, and Alvaro Falco in The Slicer, all sharing 3 points. Like I said in the previous times that I have conducted the commentary on these series standings right after the races, this is only just the beginning, and it's too early to call who is relegated so far. We will find those out in future rounds, from round 3, round 4, and so on. As in the second round, we will see you guys there. With that concludes Series Green, and we hope you enjoyed this session right here. It was a wild race, wild races, wild drama, action, and of course, some crazy freestyle moments from these drivers. With that, I'm Rainbow X, and I'll see you guys for Series Orange, Round 1 qualifiers.